But when I started working at Alameda County, I was 25. That's when I met my wife. And when I started working there, it was crackheads there, it was alcoholics there, and it was weed heads there. So once I figured out, I'm like, wait a minute, y'all functioning people, but got good jobs.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a wrap.
Yeah.
When I say like, because I had something for everybody. I did insurance cards. I had other kind of drugs. Like I had something I could sell to everybody there. And it just worked out. And it was like, why you get your, I was making more money at work selling other stuff than I made at work.
It's the Lasagna Ganja podcast, Mr. X to the Z Xzibit.
And I'm your girl, Tammy, a.k.a. the Cannabis Cutie.
Bay Area.
What's all that about?
Yeah, what you know about the Bay Area? And you know what? Because I have an opinion about Northern California, Southern California cannabis.
Okay.
What do you know about the Bay Area?
Okay, as a person born way southern in California, close to Mexico, I love the Bay Area for its music. It's very hyphy. It's cold. I know that Sacramento is not a part of the Bay. They make that very clear.
Yeah. Vallejo's where it stops, right?
That is not an argument for me. I keep my business down in Southern California and let them deal with it. I don't know.
It is a total different thing.
Yeah.
When I go to the Bay Area, first of all, California, West Coast culture is embedded in tradition. And so they want to be nothing like Southern California guys.
Right, true.
Right?
Right.
The gang shit is not up there. They don't have lolos, they have scrapers. Okay?
They loyal to the soil.
Loyal to the soil.
Yes.
Okay? If you diss Mac Dre, something gonna happen to
up.
you. Yeah, it's up, nigga. Standing on business. No, but I mean, it is a total different shift. When it comes to cannabis, it's different as well. There are purists there. These are people that, like love the land, love the forest, love trees, love, you know what I'm saying, like nature, and then they're really connected to that. So Southern California brands, believe it or not, have a difficult time surviving up north.
Correct.
And I don't know how much that translates down here because there's so many brands in Southern California. Everybody's fighting for that shelf space. But when I go up there, I know that it is a difficult terrain to navigate, right? So today we have someone on the show that is not only navigating this terrain, but he's thriving in it, and he is a very humble, down-to-earth guy. We talked to him a little bit at in Vegas at the what is that
MJ
thing called?
BizCon.
Yeah, MJ BizCon.
It's the weed.
I'm all right. So now I'd like to bring on to the show today. Say hello to Tucky, guys.
What's up?
Hey.
Yeah,
Tucky.
Tucky,
Thank
what's
y'all for
good
having
with it,
me.
man?
Thank you. I'm good. I'm here. I'm blessed.
Yes. Okay, so for those, our listeners, our viewers, tell us what you have in the Bay Area as far as what you're doing with cannabis.
So I am the first ex-felon for selling cannabis to have a retail store. The store is called Blunts and More. My last name is Blunt.
Like legally?
Yeah,
Tucky
that's Miss
Blunt.
Blunt. When I just said Miss Blunt, that wasn't like a joke. Like, no. My last name, we got Blunt kids.
What?
Yeah,
that is fucking fire.
Written in the stars.
Written in stars. Yeah. I'm a fifth generation Oaklander, born and raised there. Husband, father. I've been selling weed since 96. Got arrested for it in 2005, and then heard about the social equity program, which is a program that gives people that had cannabis charges, cases, chances at ownership in the legal space. So I was the first person that went to jail for selling weed to now have a store.
Wow.
And we opened 2018.
2018.
In the Bay. In Oakland, actually 13 blocks from where I got arrested. Like it's in
wow.
the same zip code of where I got my case.
Wow.
Did you invite the arresting officers to your store?
I'm actually friends with them now.
Oh,
Yes. We actually talked.
Do
One
they
was
feel
retired.
bad?
No, they were just doing their job. Even then, like how you talking about the Bay and the difference. Like the police back then, when I got arrested, were a part of the community. There was community police, and we knew them. You know what I'm saying? They was just doing a job, but they would always try to like, you know, hey, if you tell us something, we'll let you go type thing. And I'm like, no, I don't got nothing to tell you. And we ended up, it's crazy. We ended up running into each other once I got my license, and I explained who I was, and they remembered me.
Yeah.
Showed them my police report and all that stuff. They was like, dude, you always was, you know, on your shit. And lo and behold, I opened the store.
Wow, that's dope.
That's so cool.
That's dope.
All right, hopefully they help keep your stuff safe.
Man, that's a whole nother case. That's something else, but you know.
Okay, so that's fair. That's dope. That's dope. Not only your name being Blunt, but you cool with the arresting officers. They're like, we just do it. Well, it's a side of character that you understood they was just doing the job.
They was doing their job.
Yeah,
like I was doing something illegal.
Right.
So
at the time,
the risk of at the time you run the risk of getting caught.
Correct.
What's crazy about my thing though, I got snitched on. Somebody told on me.
Yeah.
I've been selling weed 9
years. It was your
years.
competitor.
Yeah, he literally was. I have been selling weed 9 years, no issues.
Yeah.
But the way I sold weed was how I stayed off the police radar. I never wanted to be like a kingpin. I just wanted to sell weed to who I want to sell weed to. And I figured out the best way to do that is at work. I work. I've been working since I was 13. So when I figured out that I could sell weed to my coworkers, it was a gold mine.
It was a wrap.
I know when you get paid.
Yeah.
I don't gotta work. It was easy. So once I figured that out, it was like, okay, I want to sell weed. I've seen my parents sell it. You know, I know how to sell it, but it was like, if I'm on the corner, I'm gonna go to jail. I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah.
I know about working. I know if I got a 9 to 5, I can pay all my bills, get my benefits, do all that. But if I'm selling this weed to you at work, I detail cars. I'm detailing your car off work. I throw parties. You come into my party. I sell weed cookies. You buy. I got 5 income streams coming from work. I didn't need to be on the turf.
Wow.
As soon as I stepped on the turf, I got snitched on.
Damn.
Literally.
Yeah.
But it worked out.
Yeah, it did.
Talking to y'all because of that.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Are you at liberty to say where you were working before?
Yeah. I've worked a lot of different places, but the job.
No. Where you hit the gold mine?
Alameda County. So
government job?
Yeah, government job. So actually, government job. Actually, I really realized it when I started working at Lucky, the grocery store.
Risk taker.
Yeah, but
that's fucking hard, man. This is awesome.
They smoke.
This is awesome.
I started when I was 16, I was working at Lucky, like a grocery store. I figured out I could sell weed there. Okay, cool. So 17, 18, I had regular jobs, whatever. But when I started working at Alameda County, I was 25. That's when I met my wife. And when I started working there, it was crackheads there, it was alcoholics there, and it was weed heads there. So once I figured out, I'm like, wait a minute, y'all functioning people but got good jobs.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a wrap.
Yeah.
When I say like, because I had something for everybody. I did insurance cards. I had other kind of drugs. Like I had something I could sell to everybody there. And it just worked out. And it was like, why you get your, I was making more money at work selling other stuff than I made at work.
Wow.
That's insane.
Well, that makes sense.
I mean, truly. That's smart.
That's hustle.
Yeah,
like,
that's
you know
smart.
What I mean? It's like, and I've been telling people that for years. Like, you don't need to be on the corner to sell the product. You know what I'm saying? Find your customers. Make them come to you. I was literally, I can just go to work and just sit there. And they dropping stuff off. Oh, and when they want credit, oh, it's a wrap because you can double up on them. And they ain't going nowhere. Easy. So yeah, that's and it got all my kids through school. My wife been with me. We've been together 18 years, but I've been selling since 96, and I enjoyed selling weed probably until about a year ago. I finally really stopped enjoying selling weed about a year ago.
Wow. Okay, so that brings us up to date as far as that's a great story, man. That's a great path. So when you got the store in 2018, tell us that process. Did you have to raise capital? Did you have to bring in partners? Like, how did that come about?
Okay, so
because the license is one thing, but then building out is a whole other.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So 2017, I was working at Tesla. I was their first ever certified detail trainer. Like I said, I detail cars. Like, you bring me your car, I can make it look showroom. I'm not like $350 minimum type detailer. That's me. So I'm teaching people how to detail cars. Get into it with one of my bosses on some, I'm black, he white, I get fired. I'm at home damn near crying. She know. Mike Marshall called me, the guy on The Voice, I Got 5 on it.
Yeah.
He called me, said, hey, Tucky, you ever heard of something called an equity program? I'm like, what's that? I use a computer that I got from Tesla. I'm looking it up, and he tell me what it is. I look it up. I'm like, oh, it's legit. What's going on? He like, well, I know 2 sisters out of Atlanta. They're trying to get the license, but they need somebody from Oakland to fit the criteria to apply for the license. Can you meet with them? I met with them. It was a mom and daughter. We hit it off, to my knowledge. It was a lick to them. I didn't know, though. We hit it off. Didn't have no idea who was going to win. Won the license. It was a lottery. I had to pick a bingo ball, show the bingo ball to the camera, toss the bingo ball in the chamber. They roll the stuff around after they picked the 36 balls in the chamber. If your ball was picked, you lost. If you was one of the 4 remaining balls in the chamber after they spun it around and took out all the other balls, you won a license. That's how I won my license.
What the fuck?
That's like a great way to do it.
Yeah, and it was fair. Like it was. I thought it was fair because there was you couldn't pay your way to the top. If it was meant for you to have your ball remaining in there, then I called the Heavenly Father Yahweh. Yahweh was gonna have your ball in there.
Yeah,
and it was meant for us to have our ball in there. And then once you get the ball and you get the license, there was no money. There was you had to find somebody to basically rent you a property. You had to get a LOI, a letter of intent.
Right.
You got maybe 60 days to do that. No capital. And you're going out here with a license with no knowledge to try to get people to give you money upwards of maybe $3 million to open a store. Where are you supposed to get that from?
Right, exactly.
So how we did with our capital, me and my former partners met somebody who had a grow house and a dispensary space. They didn't get a license though. They only got the grow license. What you gonna do with this empty space? Let us rent it out. So we was able to rent it out from them and came up with a deal to get startup capital from them as a loan, and then they build out the property. And then that's how Blunt Some More came to be.
Yeah, I love it when things align.
Yeah,
when things just line up. You got the license. You got the. That's like some Price is Right shit.
Bro, I say it on my thing on my little one sheet or whatever. I was just walking the path already laid for me. I didn't know what was going on. All the things I've ever went through in my life led to me sitting here right now in this moment.
Exactly.
I don't know what I did along that path to toggle things one way or the other, but it was meant for me to do that. It was meant for me to open first, and then it was meant for me to go through the stuff that I'm going through now currently with dealing with being in the cannabis space and what comes with that, and a lot of stuff that people don't know about type shit. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I mean, you know a lot about the headaches that in cannabis that people can't even envision. They romanticize being in the cannabis industry.
Right, yes. Right. Everybody thinks everybody's walking around with millions of dollars in a backpack.
Right, and you think it's money, and you know the people that are really in it and the people that are coming for a cash grab, because once they realize it's actually a hole, they peace out. But Tucky, you know, this was kind of fated for you in a sense. And a lot of people, I know a lot of people who have the passion that you have, it all seems like, you know, you were brought here. I feel like I was also brought into it. And, you know, it's beautiful to see people like yourself still sticking it through, because it's just heartbreaking seeing some of the stuff you have to deal with up in the industry.
Give us some ideas or like, give us like the top 3 things that you weren't expecting or that you have to deal with now, and because I want to go back and talk about the other things with retail, but give us 3 of your biggest headaches right now.
Right now, currently, if we talking about currently, the dealing with Oakland is just all the stuff leaving Oakland, all the different businesses, the crime that's, you know, the bipping and just causing just stuff to leave Oakland. So just dealing with that.
Oh, you have to explain bipping.
Breaking in people shit. That's what bipping is. Breaking people cars. A lot of stupid stuff going on in Oakland right now. That taxes is always huge, and just a lot of misinformation in the space.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, literally, and that's just overall, and it affects my store because people come in with a lot of misinformation. So them top 3 right now. Like to say right now dealing with today.
Yeah, I just saw In-N-Out pulled out of their store from up there.
My wife just told me might have been pulling in here, that is the first In-N-Out to ever close in their company's history. To have that designation from something that's in my city is crazy.
I mean, you know, Keith Lee also brought, you know, the food influencer and critic. He does a lot of, you know, blessing people. Like, he's using his platform for good. And he straight up said, like, it didn't feel right being there, you know, trying to put restaurants on when this is a city that's struggling. Like, I don't really need to be here right now. This is not, it don't feel right. Like, you know, and that's real, and that's happening here. Like, it's like operating like it's a third world country. Like, when are we going to wake up and realize, like, inflation is whooping our ass, and it's starting in California, but the rest of America, please be warned, it's coming for you too.
San Francisco, Oakland, all that area. Like, there's a lot of tech companies there. the Bay Area is one of the most expensive places to live in the country.
Yes.
And so, these people that, are being kind of forced into these situations have been there for, like you said, generations. And so now all of a sudden it's skyrocketing inflation. It's things that, that's why the bipping is high. Mr. Fab, I just came from up there. And he was saying when he takes his nice cars out, he just leaves the windows down.
You have to. Yep. But we park in different lots and get Ubers to places in the same city though. Or I'll park at our store and get an Uber from the store.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's like we from there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a lot because when I open my store, y'all haven't been to the store, but my store sits right across the street from the Oakland Coliseum. When I opened, the A's were there, the Warriors were there, the Raiders were there.
Foot traffic.
None of them are there.
Wow.
They've taken out so much of the economy.
What I'm saying? Like it's
and
like how
left
you
people with
supposed to
nothing.
survive?
How are they supposed to make money now? There's that whole economy pull, and I'm a sports management major, so we absolutely study the effect that stadiums have on the economy, or when the Olympics come to a country and things like that. So to take away those big revenue streams, kind of boom, boom, boom. It's what happened in Detroit whenever they took all the factories overseas. Like you just decimated their entire economy.
Right. The automotive industry got hit, and they replaced it with casinos.
Yeah.
Great.
And so now you're just watching essentially people suffer and people, the crime, you can say it's like, oh, people are just takers, but it's survival mode. Like you'll do whatever it takes to survive. And that's what some people are doing to survive. So it's not even the actions of the people so much as it is how can we allow this to happen to our own people?
Literally. Right. And that's where I be at with it. Cause it's like, I'm the kind of person, you know me, like, you know me off camera. I really fuck with my people. Like I was just sitting in my den the other day on live randomly and I was like, damn, in my den at my house, I got 8 or 9 different black owned companies that's in my den from different stuff I bought and supported from them. So it's like, why y'all doing that shit to me? But it's like, fuck me. Why y'all doing it to where you at? It's where you at. You not helping. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I don't know. It's just different. It's different. You hate it to be like that because I would love to have a profitable business in my city. But I know what my brand worth. I know I can take this anywhere. I can take this orange anywhere. It's trademarked. So yes, I want to be in Oakland. Would love to be in Oakland, but I don't have to be in Oakland. I'm there because I'm choosing to be there. And I'm trying to do something for the community. I got the first outdoor consumption lounge in Oakland history at my store.
Wow.
That I filled out the application for, applied for by myself with me and my wife, and applied for and everything. First one in Oakland. Won't nobody come take advantage of party there. It's private. You can't see in or out. You got gated security. It's like you got to beg people to come. So it's cool. I'm gonna do what I got to do it, what it is, but it's hard.
Would you say if you had it like from out of 100%, what percentage has the foot traffic diminished the access to your store? Like
50.
Cut it in half.
Yeah, like in our peak, we were doing about 200 customers a day. That's what kind of like what you want to average to be around 4 million. We had that roughly maybe 2019, and then all the stuff started leaving. I basically see anywhere now from 85 to 125 people a day.
Wow,
max. At maybe a $48 to $53 spend.
Is it on pace with what you're doing as far as covering your overhead, or is it a very thin margin?
Ain't no money. Well, it's not money being made previously. Money's being made now, but it's due to me firing the people I partnered with. I had to go through some of that stealing shit twice to finally step in and do what I need to do. And now I think if I can run it now, I'd actually see a profit. But for the first 4 years, it was no profit because people were stealing the cookie jar.
People suck.
People do suck. I'm a very trusting person. You know what I mean?
People suck, man.
But I had to own my fault and why stuff happened with the store too.
Yeah.
You have to inspect what you expect.
Period.
That's number one, especially in cannabis. Let me ask you this: as a business owner, do you see value in hiring friends and family, or do you stay away from that?
So I've only hired one. Shout out to my brother, cousin Dre. I'll hire him because it depends. I don't want to say no. It depends. You got to know that particular staff member is going to be on what they're going to be on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love my little brother. We 10 years apart. He worked for iHeart, actually on Cameo in the Bay. He is the only person in my family I hired at the store, and he's the only person I would hire, but it's because of how he get down at work.
Mm-hmm.
I would have my family get involved with the business outside of the store. Do ancillary things. Let's do some other stuff and put you in some other games and do that. But I don't really want them at the store because I was just talking about it outside. A weight that I carry that is hard is I have to worry about 8 other people's individual safety. But let me see, 10 if you count my security. So I got to worry about 10 people's safety other than my wife, other than my kids, every day. Worry about how they get home, how they going to get to school. Is somebody going to be following them, following their kids? That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because they work at the store, people
Yeah.
think
They
that
work
they
the store,
have.
think they got access to all the shit. Like I don't even have, and people know this is like public information. I don't have no codes and none of this stuff at my store on purpose. Because you're not gonna walk me down in there and do A, B, and C because I don't know nothing. I shouldn't have to worry about that, but I got to worry about that for 10 other people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You know what I mean? And you know, it's what we got to do, but those are things that people don't know about when they're so quick to say, hey, I want to own a store and I want to have a strain. No, you really don't.
Yeah,
dog.
yeah.
You really don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You
Yeah,
don't.
it's not promised. It's hard. It is very hard. Trust me. I think I've touched every kind of job that it requires. I've touched every aspect of it. I've done my own distribution. I've done manufacturing. I've done carts. I've done flour. This is my first time stepping into retail, right? But I found where the landmines were. Not by avoiding them. I stepped right on them motherfuckers and they just went off. So it was like hell to pay, right? But I learned a valuable lesson. So now me going into retail, I know what I'm good at, so I stick to those things. And I don't hire friends and family. I kind of like go for people who are qualified for the position. And even then, there's due diligence that has to be done to make sure that they are going to stay through the whole fight.
And y'all, you deal with this too, just sitting in on deals or whatever. And it's something I had to learn. So you do your due diligence, but you know, like with everything, there's time limits on a lot of these deals, a lot of these conversations. How long, and it's something we just talk about in general, how long do you give them time to do the due diligence? And do you jump in sometimes too fast because the timelines are on and now you got to try to learn this person while you work with them? That's literally what I've been through for 4 years.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because you have these timelines where you have to have stuff in place or they're going to take your license and give it to someone else. So it kind of forces you to kind of pick the best snake in the garden to work with. You know what I'm saying? And learn on the fly.
I don't play that game.
It's not easy. It's not easy. But you've been open since 2018. That's still nice traffic. But there's a lot of other, factors outside of your control that are contributing to making it difficult for you to continue.
Correct.
Would you think about opening stores in Southern California?
Anywhere.
Out of state?
I tell people all the time, you have a license and you want to make your store blunts and more, I have a franchise package for you. It's super.
It's already done.
Yeah, no, it's super. And it's super chill. And it's all I want is 100,000, well, 125,000, because after the 25, I got to take that for taxes. I'll take 100,000 one-time franchise fee. That's it. And 3% of gross. And I know you're probably not going to gross for at least 2 or 3 years. That's why I'm getting 100,000 up front. I do that at 30 stores. You do the math. You know what I'm saying? So, and I learned that kind of by watching Burner. A lot of people don't. I'm so glad Burner said it on No Vultures podcast because my boy Rap, shout out to Rap, asked him, how much money you making off cookies? 0. Because you're not making money on the store level. He making money on the ancillary side.
Which is the side, that's the game that I play. Like, I don't do the licensing and all. More power to you guys stepping into that legal industry. When people are like, when are you going to do?
You ain't got to.
There's no rush.
You don't have
like,
to.
there is no rush to do anything in the legal market for me. If I do anything, it's going to be a collab where there's licenses that already exist. But I have no interest in playing that game. Like, I always just see a lot of just so much red tape, I think, is what people don't understand. You've got so many regulatory bodies, and a lot of these regulatory bodies be beefing. And how does that help you?
Right.
Not at all.
Right. They take long to communicate.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to do the legal way. I got to stay legal. I mean, they can't wait for me to fuck up. They want to shoot me down like Duck Hunt. They can't wait. Pow.
And what's crazy is the other one's been doing backdoor and everything, and they ain't caught once. But as soon as I even sniff or even think about, well, let me, we're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, they right there waiting.
Yeah, that's why I can't do it.
Yeah, so
but I ain't gonna be negative about everything.
Right.
Let me be positive.
Correct.
I have a legal cannabis store in the same city that I was arrested for selling cannabis in.
Same zip code.
Same zip code. First dispensary I ever went to was with my grandmother in 1999. Had me take her, run her errands. We went to a store actually up the street from Dope Air. It's on 19th and Telegraph.
Yeah.
Came out with a white bag. Granny, what's that? Oh, it's weed. You bought weed out of a store? She like, yeah. I said, oh, yeah, I want one of those. By that time, I was already selling weed 3 years. And that next day, I went and got a cannabis card, started working at cannabis stores. So when people like see me and see Blunt some more, please know, I'm not like new to this. Like I really, really am entrenched in this shit. Like since I was 16, I started growing when I was 21. I worked at stores, all the shit. She been there 18 of my years. Like this is what I do. For me to really feel like I'm tired of selling weed is bothering me. It's really bothering me.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy getting people high. I enjoy what comes with connecting. Like, I'd have never thought in a million fucking years I meet X through weed. You understand what I'm saying? Like 99% of people that I meet and interact with in my life is because of weed. It's because of weed.
Right.
So I don't want to just be being negative. You know what I'm saying? There's some positive shit that come with this shit, but they make it really
they suck the life out. They suck the joy out of things. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do.
But also there's beauty in, knowing when it's time for the curtain call. And you don't have to exit the cannabis industry. There's the ancillary side. You are now a consultant. You opened a store. You understand what it's like to be in a city with a lot of red tape. You can go anywhere in the country and help people open up shop.
Come on, and you already know that's what we on.
Yeah, when you do the franchise, when you do the franchising model, and they pay their upfront, and do you have like quality control? Do you sell them the packaging? Like what comes with that franchise?
So with me, I bring all my SOPs, like everything that I have in my knowledge. Only difference is every state, every city, they all have different things. So I bring what's California based. Modify it to whatever in your area and go from there. But I'm bringing everything that I do at my store, day-to-day operations, security measures, everything that I teach in my courses, I'm giving to you.
Wow. You teach courses?
Yeah.
Okay, well tell me about that.
Her. So met Tammy, been about 3 years or so now. And seeing she was in education, she didn't lead. She was a cannabis cutie, but she led with learning. So I'm like, man, got cool, ended up, knowing a lot of mutual friends. I just hit her one day like, hey, I want to start teaching. Can you like guide me to like the website or how to move or how to do it? Hit me right back.
Wow.
So what I do is I give people 6 weeks. I charge them like $1,000. I'm not hella high. And I actually end up giving them probably $500 of that money back. I'm one of them kind of people like, you pay me, I'm going to look out for you in the end. 6 weeks. And I tailor it to them. You tell me what you want to know in the space. And I'll give you that for 6 weeks.
Wow.
And then any of my connections, any of my databases, I give you all that access to. And because I'm building, while I'm talking to you for them 6 weeks, we building friendships, we building relationships. These people still call me now.
With questions,
questions. A couple of them
courses,
not own, but work at dispensaries now. They use my referrals and stuff to get jobs type thing. So I'm not in it for the money. I just know the value of education. And besides Oaksterdam, as far as like us, she was the first person I really seen doing anything any close to where it was education and that you could sign up for a class like directly through her online. I'm like, yeah, I need to be able to do that. Wow. So I just took control and did it all myself. And people hit me on Instagram. I give them the information on how to hit me. And I think I've had 6 students total. And I used all the money to buy studio equipment for when I do podcasting.
And that's on collaboration.
Absolutely.
Literally.
Yeah, because this industry is so cutthroat. Like I do not have competitors as an educator. Like we need so many more people. And I speak to a specific audience. He speaks to a specific audience. Like he's touching people in the Bay. Yeah. I'm not necessarily going to have that pull. I'm SoCal. Like you can see it all over me. Right. I mean, and then there's other demographics of people that would speak better to different groups.
Correct.
Like, there's no, like, we have to free this plant first. Like, that is the priority. And I just kind of feel like we're getting a little too cutthroat with one another when we still have one common enemy, and that is the prohibitionists.
I've called her before. I had a, like, I'll see something online or see something on TV that talks about cannabis instruction. And a lot of it is bullshit. A lot of it is bullshit. They just capitalizing on the market. So a couple of them was cool. They was at colleges. I hit one. They sounded cool. I hit Tammy. Hey, Tammy. They looking for instructors. I always try to bring somebody in that look like me, male or female, whenever I'm doing something. I just think that's what we're supposed to do. I call her. It didn't pan out, but all of them don't pan out. But I'm not going to not call her.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, we're in a very, like, ill time as far as cannabis. There's things that we have to create that don't necessarily exist.
Facts.
You know? And when you're trying to introduce something new to people who may be used to being, you know, sold things in a certain way, we're kind of like making this up as we go.
Literally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're writing the rules.
While being rushed to do it.
Oh yeah, they want us to fuck up. They want us to step on all the landmines so that when there's time for them to do it, then
they can
it's
just come clean up the bodies and you know
they can kick the bodies out the way and just walk over us.
That's it. That's it. And that's why the power of, like, everyone can't be a brand, but if you have a brand, do your thing. Your brand don't have to be a store brand. The Cannabis Cutie is a brand.
And I don't touch the plant.
Your tax bracket ain't being affected. You don't got to worry about 280.
I mean, now being called the Cannabis Cutie is still a red flag. So I do have, like, issues, like with banking. As soon as they type in my name in a bank, they're like, "What's this?"
Oh yeah,
yeah. There's no avoiding it.
I'm dealing with some of that now. I have a business account that's not touching anything plant related at all, but being that I get paid from cannabis businesses, they want to change my account. I said, no, we're not doing that. I don't. This is not a cannabis account. I consult for cannabis businesses. I can't do that now. Well, I'll take my business elsewhere. I ain't heard back from them yet.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't make sense.
It's crazy, but you know, if it goes down to Schedule 3, we don't have a banking issue.
Yeah,
I guess.
I don't understand. Just D. I don't know what is up with this re. Just
exactly,
D.
Just
D schedule. I don't understand. Like, at the
D.
end of the day, we have a cannabinoid system in our human body.
Amen.
Cannabinoids are running through us. Like, I don't understand. I get that, you know, it's all about them keeping us sick and keeping us doped up so they can get rich. But dude, y'all can get rich off weed too.
No, listen, I am a sick person. I look healthy, but I'm a sick person. I want my weed. Like, you have me as a customer.
Like,
I'm for life, baby, but give me my weed.
And I didn't even realize that. I didn't realize that until I got on the legal side. I was smoking weed to get high. I was selling weed to get people high. I never knew it, but we didn't give a fuck about terpenes and all that shit. The weed smell good. It get you high. It break down right. We finna smoke this shit.
I'm good. Sold.
Period. You know what I'm saying? So the learning part, the education and learning, I'm like, oh wait, these are why I gravitate to these flavors. This is why this and this happened. And then you realize it's a system in us that has the word cannabis. Come on,
dedicated to receiving the plant.
Dedicated to receiving the plant.
Yeah. Which means that we grew together.
But
I mean, we talked about it on the show before. Jesus, his anointing oil, it had cannabism, aka cannabis, in the recipe. Like, I'm
a firm believer. If Jesus walked the earth, he smoked weed.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was working with it. Jesus was a scholar. Now he knew.
He knew what time it was. You think Jesus like sativa or indica?
It depends on what he was doing that day with the disciples.
Indica. As a spiritual person, indica. All my spiritual folks were on the indicas.
You just bang out a glass of wine real quick, like roll up.
I can see
maybe he was just doing the dropper, you know, with the anointing oil.
We're actually high, starting to drift off with conversation. But I have another question.
Yes,
sir. When you were explaining that, it's like, do you think the literal things that we kind of like know, and like we know you turn grapes into wine. Do you think it was written and like it was like done in parables, but like you broke it down? You know what I'm saying? Like the oil healing the blind or whatever it was. It might not have been blind, but then it, gave him some, and it helped with his sight. You know, do you think that we take the Bible too literally?
I think a lot of it is allegory. And then, we take it too literally. But I also think that things get translated. We can all look at a quote and perceive it differently. And that's what happens with a lot of religious texts.
Yes.
And then that's how they get misused.
Yes.
So we're also not supposed to play with the pig of a skin, but we have the NFL. Like, I love football.
Yeah. And they're delicious too. Bacon's delicious.
Nobody say, give me some bacon.
And there's no parts of the Bible that says that some parts in nature are demonic or not for us. So I also don't understand that interpretation. And then also, I was raised Catholic, so I have a lot of Catholic guilt still. And the commandments, like, we break a lot of those daily. And then the deadly sins, like, we are all guilty of those. So, like, which sins are worse than others? I could never figure it out.
Yeah. I think, listen, all of these translations and rewrites have happened from the Dead Sea Scrolls. That those are the actual text that were found, and then translated.
Well, I mean, to really take it there, just to be quick, I mean, if we go back to before we got to monotheism, which is honoring one deity, Jesus or God, we were in polytheism, and polytheism was deeply connected to cannabis, and the woman, Jesus's wife, essentially God's wife, was represented with cannabis. But once they got rid of the women aspect of there was just God was a man, cannabis fell with that. And it's even been proven because archaeological sites have been dug up, and we have found these altars to have burnt incense of frankincense and then burnt of cannabis. And they were basically doing it in a room that would be considered a hot box.
Yes.
But once polytheism fell and worshiping a woman deity, it became pagan. It became sinful. It was not in alignment with holiness, which was just all about, it's where modern patriarchy came from. So.
That's a whole nother show in itself.
Right?
We can bring the author of that book. We can bring the author of that book. Shout out to Chris Bennett.
I love the conversations too. Shit.
So back to you. I just wanted to talk about that.
Nothing wrong with it.
So going back into your store, and you even though the challenges are still there, brother, you still did it. You know what I'm saying? And you still striving and you still growing with it. What would be one of the things that you would like for your franchisee or your store owners in the future to know about what you built and what the upside of what you built is for them?
So for me, like, I really take selling weed seriously. Like, I really, really, really love this plant, and learning more about it on the legal side has made that love more. So I just want them to know that if you are partnering with me, you messing with somebody that loves the plant. So I'm going to hold you accountable for loving the plant. It's not just finna be like you just open a store, use the brand, and you put bullshit weed in the bags type shit. Like, no, this ain't that. You coming from somebody who really, like I said until recently, really enjoy this I still love the plant, but enjoy selling it. I enjoy the camaraderie. The theme for my lounge is commune and consume. Like, I want people to come together and build at the store. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want it to be a community hub that just so happens to sell weed. So that's what you getting when you partner with me. It's like, no, it's my name on the building, but it could be called whatever. It just so happens that it's Blunts and More. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, these colors mean something. Like, all that goes with the whole Blunts and More, the happy store. Orange is the color scheme. We met with marketing. These are things that people don't know about. You meet with marketing behind the scenes that give you different plots. This different company has these colors. It had all different colors. And like with orange, I'm like, I like the orange. I think it was orange and green we looked at. They was like, orange means happy. We locked in. Blunts and More, the happy store. So I just want them to know they're getting somebody who really cares about the plant, who cares about us, and who cares about us succeeding in this space. Don't get me wrong. I'll do some deals with white people. I'm not against that. But I want us to own. You know what I'm saying? There's only less than 2% of us that own that. Own. There's less than 2% of us that have any piece of the legal cannabis space. Less than 2%.
Yeah, I think we can count them on one hand.
Like it's not gonna hurt me.
I think 2 of them are sitting in this room.
like, come on, like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, in the room right now.
Like, the shit's wild. So that's what I want people to know. They really, if you fucking with me, you fucking with somebody who really, really, really cares about this shit and really enjoys, what good cannabis sales can do for people. Like I
Mhm.
really like I've been with people. I still got people who've been buying weed from me since I was 16 and still come to the store.
Yeah.
Don't even tell me they going to the store.
Yeah. They just come in.
Just come in.
That's brand loyalty. Well, I mean, that's the thing, though. It goes back to the top of the conversation. We started talking about the Bay Area. It's a different type of camaraderie there. People know who's plants and people know who's been there for a long time, generational. It's a different type of get down, and loyalty is a big thing. You know, so I spent some time with Mr. Fab, and just seeing how passionate he is about not only where he lives, about the people who live there with him.
Happy birthday, bro. It's his birthday today.
Yeah, happy birthday, Mr.
Him
Fab.
and my granny that took me to my first dispensary.
Yes.
It's her birthday today. I've never done an interview on her birthday.
Oh.
So thank y'all.
Yeah.
Like when I
Sorry,
saw the dates, I'm like, oh
Yeah.
shit. No, she rest in peace. She gone. But I'm just glad that I got to talk about her on her day in the space that we on. My granny used to grow weed and all the shit.
Really?
Like, yes.
How? Like, was she in the backyard?
Yes, my granny, in the 80s and the 70s, the dirt in California or in the Bay was different. My granny, she'd have watermelon in one plot, corn in another plot, weed in another plot. But her problem with it is she didn't know how to dry the weed. So she would just hang it up in the garage and just hang it. We all going in and out the garage. We fucking up the eco. She didn't know. So, but 3 days and it turned into hay. Couldn't even smoke it.
Yeah.
But she would always grow it. Like my childhood, weed was not bad. Like Dare was a joke to us. Weed was not bad to us. Like my childhood is dominoes and weed smoke. Peach cobbler smoke, you know what I'm saying? Dressing and shit like that's what we was on. You know what I'm saying? Like weed was never bad. So yeah, to be able to do an interview on her birthday, it's pretty dope.
That's
Pretty dope.
I wish my parents were like that. What the fuck?
Yeah, what's it like to have loving parents?
Man, you got both my parents was trappers. Like,
That's
really?
dope.
Yeah. My daddy sold $5 joints at high school. My mama was his helper. And then my mama was able to, once Pops, went on and did whatever he did, Moms was able to take that game because she was a hustler too. And my mama turned on a lot of dudes in weed. I put it like that. She was a lot of dudes plug. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like my mama can go anywhere in the town right now and get love.
Wow.
Any turf. They gonna know Miss Yahweh. They call her Miss B. They gonna know Miss Yahweh, Miss B. They gonna know her. But I come from it. Like we
so
really.
It's a family business.
Yeah.
Literally. And they
literally
both
your name
excited.
is Blunt.
Yes, they love
it's
it.
a family
I would
business.
never thought getting teased in high school, and I didn't care because I like capping, like bring back capping, like real capping with no fisticuffs.
No, they brought it
You know what I'm
back. I
saying?
have a
need to,
preteen. It's back. They're playing the dozens.
Like hearing blunt. I always smoke blunts. Always buy blunts by the box. Never would have thought in a million years I'd own. Something called Blunt Some More. Because I've always been a brand. I always do branding shit. I used to rap. My name was a Cookie Man. It was a Cookie Man because I sold weed pastries. I used to sell the weed pastries at the parties while I'm rapping.
Yeah.
She can attest to that. You know what I'm saying? So it was all a ploy. I'm rapping, but here we are. We selling cookies. I got a bunch of black vendors there selling clothes, doing food. This was in 2005. I'm doing the same. Blunts and More is literally, I recreated what I was doing when I got arrested. That's literally what Blunts and More is. The same shit I was doing when I got arrested is the same shit I'm doing at Blunts and More.
You said black owned. Do you seek out black owned cannabis brands to put in your store?
Yes, I do. And I will say this. It is hard for a lot of the black cannabis brands.
Why?
Funding. You'll get them. And it's a lot of that with a lot of the other brands too, but they have more funding to go buy more weed. The black brands they'll be good 1 week and they're not good for 6-8 months, but they want you to still pick them up. And it's like, yeah, I can pick you up, but it's not selling. I got to have the same conversation with the big brands. Only difference with the big brands, they got more money to come in and buy different weed. So it makes it to where some brands feel like, oh, I can't get in Blunt Some More. No, it's not that you can't get in or that you didn't get in. You just gotta have a product that people want. What I buy is based on what the people ask me for.
The data's gonna tell you what's selling.
Literally, and we use data to buy. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I want to support you, and I do try to buy from everybody. Everyone knows. And some stuff don't sell. Like it's on my stuff for
Also,
$5.
it's a marketing issue.
That too.
Yeah.
A lot of them, and it's the big brands too, they won't send anyone to sell the product. Like, come and do some information. I have a lounge. Come have a smoke out. Come do something. They just won't do it. So it's up to us to sell your product. And I get where some of the brands coming from. Like, I'm a small business. I can't do it. Well, pay one of my staff members to do it. They'll do your PAD for you. Let's figure out a way to, you know what I'm saying? Just pay one of them to do it. Give them an A for weed and let them do a video about your brand and we host an event. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of laziness and that's just not anybody. Like I said, I'm not targeting them. But as much as I love Black people, I would love to have more Black brands in the store, but we got to do better as the brands and as the other, you know, surrounding brands to lift each other up. It's not a lot of that going on right now.
You know, I think a lot of it comes down to they don't understand business. Like I went to business school twice, so I understand a little bit more, but going into it, they're not really understanding everything that comes with it. And I wouldn't even say it's laziness as much as it's overwhelm.
And lack of education. It's lack of education too.
Lack of education.
It's lack of education.
And we don't have examples. Unfortunately, we can't, you know, say that our grandfather and uncle and aunts and so owns this and this and that. We don't necessarily know what that looks like all the time. We've never seen it.
Why I do what I do with all the Black brands. Like I give so many people like opportunities to come just open in my parking lot. Like come do your pop-up. I don't necessarily care if you got a license. You trying to make money. I got security. I got a space. I got a bathroom. Come on, launch your business. You know what I'm saying? They'll come do it, and then they branch off. I had 2 businesses call me recently. Tucky, can we come back? We want to come back home. We done branched off, did our thing, but it's safer there. You got parking. You got gate. We want to come back. Come on. But that's what I'm trying to build. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, if we don't support each other, there's no way we all gonna eat. And I had this conversation with Al Harrington all the time. Like, blood is so. What I lack in money to do all these different things, because again, I'm not rich. We don't own a store. You're not rich. But what I have up here, that I know we can all get together. Like, bro, you know, 10 millionaires. If they all put up 100,000 each, put it into this one business, they get a 3% return. You don't got to get no 20% return. Just get a 3% return. Get that return.
No, they want to give us some shit that's crazy.
Take that money and then reinvest into another. They don't want to do that. They want to have 50% of your. You don't even sell weed, bro. Why you need 50% of my business? Just because you let me borrow money does not mean you need to own my business.
Yeah,
but that's technically not how capitalism works.
Very true. That's how the music business was. It's like, yo, if we don't come make this music, you know, and you give us this money, your money somehow in the contract became way more important than what I'm doing. And if you put this CD out with nothing, no music on it, then you just have a 16-cent CD. You know, like
it's a lot.
Yeah, it is. It's so that we do get lost in translation. But here's the deal: us, the Black community, spend trillions of dollars every year being consumers.
Yep.
We don't do things for each other first, because whatever reason. And then there is this kind of hesitation to like support financially when I know people that, you know, will say, oh yeah, X, I seen this, can you slide me some? I'm like, yeah, I could give it to you all day. I know you're gonna represent it, maybe take a picture of it. But don't you think it would help me if you actually supported the business so that we can continue to get bigger?
Yes.
You know, there was a period in time where Black Americans did have this.
Yeah.
You know, there was multiple Black Wall Streets.
Yes.
Multiple Black Wall Streets. They were all ended by white rage. Like, we've done this. We know how to do this as a community. We know how to survive. We know how to come together. There's systemically, we have been divided. It's through a lot of things, media, through music, through, you know, we've accepted that. And I think a lot of us, as we get older, we kind of realize like, damn, that was, you know, not the move. We should have never been saying those things and affirming those words and behaviors, you know, because look where we are now. Look at the new generation.
Yeah.
Like they're still not going in the direction of collectiveness, to unity.
No, not at all.
No, they've actually went a little further than we
exactly.
did.
Exactly. And that's on us as, you know, the elders now. It's on us.
It's a lot. Yeah.
So, you know, we were that. We can do it. We can do it, and we can defend ourselves now.
Definitely.
You know, we have rights.
Well, it should be easier now because we all have more access to each other.
And we have more rights.
We have access on these phones. I mean, I think there's a bigger danger right now. We're way off, but I think this is important to say. I think the biggest danger that we have is this disconnect even though we're all connected together and we all talk on these phones, nobody's fact checking anything. And there's all this misinformation going around and making people very easily manipulated to a point where it feels like, you know, I could tell this group of people and trigger them, and eventually they're going to get triggered enough to fucking come do something.
Yep.
Yeah, they're absolutely building, they're like radicalizing people and turning them into machines, like with the information that they're receiving.
Right.
It only takes 5 or 6 years to get somebody to the point of, oh, this is the media that they're taking, most likely to probably end up killed based upon the searches. Like it's so like, it's so sinister. It's so sinister. I watched a documentary about it. Like absolutely the misinformation is intentional. You're radicalizing people and changing people right before your eyes. You're seeing people like, how are they saying these things? It's the targeted
people
media.
you and I have known for a long time. It's like, yo, you're absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
You're absolutely wrong.
Where are you getting this from?
But I think that's going to be, you know, I think that's going to be tougher than just the on the surface of what we've been dealing with. I think the chips have already fallen. And I think now we're just about to see how it all comes together. It's going to be pretty rough.
It is.
It's going to be different. We say it all the time, like our kids,
I feel sorry for them. Dating right now? Oh my God.
Tell me about
dating right now.
I don't even want to date.
I'm so glad I'm in love.
Man, we say all the time.
Good. I'm so glad I'm connected.
It's over.
Listen, I'm already, mindset is like, I'm just going to continue to love on my friends and date my friends and share life with them because it's rough out. It's rough outside.
Niggas.
Have you heard these podcasts? The stuff that men say on podcasts?
Have you seen the women say on podcasts?
I don't listen to none of them. Actually, I see the clips of the men though.
You hear what they saying on the record?
My algorithm feeds me these podcasts where men are telling me I need to go back into the kitchen. And I'm like, I actually will cut myself or burn myself. It's actually a thing. I shouldn't be in the kitchen all the time. Actually, my gift is not the kitchen.
I have never seen, you know, and now granted, I am a fan of ignorance. Ignorant shit. I like ignorant shit sometimes. I like it. I can't lie. And some of that shit is pretty entertaining.
We all do.
But when you see it affecting, like, this is not just entertainment. People are actually living their lives this way.
Yeah.
It's pretty scary stuff.
It is scary.
Yeah.
That's why I like the whole commune. Like, you know, we're not even going to be able to afford rent in like 5 years. So we're all going to have to live together anyway, right?
Gotta find the people you're comfortable with.
Right. So just me and my friends, you know, if we could have a garden or something, maybe a schedule of chores, I feel like we could be happy.
I think the last thing, check it out. We're talking about slippery slopes here now. Now, I'm not a guy who's into the end of the world shit. But looking at things kind of crazy, I did go get me some land. I have 5 acres of land.
Boom.
I know how to get there. I've actually timed myself to get where I live to get there. I know how long it takes.
You in a bunker?
Now see, I'm not doing all that.
Come on, man.
I
hella want a bunker.
I'm not doing all that. I'm like, nigga, I'm not going underground. We're gonna fight. Fuck it. We just gonna John
Again,
Wick
I
this
want to
shit.
go straight to the light. Like,
We pick something up because, God damn it, Tammy's going to the light again, guys.
Oh shit! I want to go back and see Jesus. I want to go.
Oh, you out here? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
she just go lay down. She's like, I quit.
I am not fighting. I am a girl. I'm not fighting.
But I do have some land. And I look at these things and it's like, you know, maybe we should turn the internet off for a couple years. You know what I'm saying? And just like bring people down back to reality. Like, hey, guys, or turn that motherfucker off. You know what I'm saying? Like once a month. You know,
like a pandemic, an internet pandemic.
No, because I think people are oversensitive. You know, people are super tight. And, you know, it brings us back to cannabis. You know, cannabis is a stress reliever for some. I know I use it that way. And, you know, I just look back and it's like, if it just calmed down for a second, I think people could kind of see what's happening. But they keeping the tensions high and it's keeping people stirred up. Yeah, for a reason. I can't put my finger on it.
It's intentional.
Yeah, you can feel it. It's like this isn't who we should be acting like.
Right.
You know.
Right.
We aren't polite with one another anymore.
Right.
But
definitely
weed
agree
brings
with that.
people together, so
Correct.
Community.
everybody should just get high together.
Yeah. Let's have a good high day.
Yes. I'm
Come
with all
on,
that.
mandatory 420 day.
Yes.
Everybody.
I'm with that.
So Tucky, man, we thank you for coming in. Thank you for building with us. Congratulations on your success.
Thank you. Congratulations to you too.
Man, you have a dope story. If people want to find you, how can they get in touch with you?
Tucky Blunt everywhere. It's Tuckyblunt. Support the store. you follow me, that's cool, but follow the store. It's Blunts and More 510, bluntsandmore.com. If you want to call us and talk to us, it's 510-FIRE-420.
That's
It's
dope.
crazy.
Dope.
But that's it. Blunts and More is everywhere. Tucky Blunt everywhere.
Awesome.
Right.
Awesome. And then if people want to reach out for you for the business side of things, and they want that franchise package, how can I get that from you?
I'll give y'all the email offline because I
Okay.
don't want my email everywhere.
Copy that, yeah.
But you
Serious
can-
business.
But yeah, serious business.
serious
You can
business
hit
only.
the IG, I'll see it. And then if it's serious, you'll get the right information. I'll
Correct,
put it like
correct.
that.
Yeah, let's
'Cause
do
there'll be
that.
a
That's
lot
it.
of weirdos.
Oh yeah. Just man, people have brilliant ideas with your shit.
Yes. Yes. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm fairly simple. I've had the same number since 2001.
Oh, that's dope.
So I'm one of them kind of people. If I don't want to talk to you, I'm not gonna answer. So,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So pretty easy, pretty simple. And like I said, it's simply stated. This is trademarked.
Mhm.
I own the trademark. I own the intellectual properties. The IP is people, that term.
Mhm.
Those are key and important in this space. And a lot of us are losing our intellectual properties left and right because we're not trademarking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Everything I do has a trademark.
has to.
It has to.
Has
yeah.
to.
Yeah.
But that's if you want to play the legal side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I think my honest opinion, I think the brands are going to win eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
Right?
It's a long play.
Yeah, it's a long play.
It's a long play.
That's why. That's what. Look at what Berner's done. He's done an excellent job
It's a
at branding
long play.
cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Look, sales cover a multitude of sins.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So people always talk shit about everybody in the industry.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you have to look at the people who have done things right
Mhm.
more than they've done things wrong.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's what I focus on. And I keep my emotions out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I really focus on who's doing things correctly and how can those things be implemented into what we're doing.
Period.
I think more information needs to be shared about amongst people who are operators.
Yes, I agree.
And understanding that these challenges can be, these challenges can be avoided if
Mhm.
you do things correct from the beginning.
People talk
Right.
shit because they don't know shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They talking shit about what they don't know about.
Right.
I never could talk shit about Berner because I didn't know everything he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the other side of the water.
Mhm.
I was doing my thing in the town. I heard about him, whatever. But people that's talking shit about how he does the stuff legally, you can't talk because you're not in the seat. You
At
don't
all.
know what's going on.
At all.
I can talk about it because I'm sitting in the seat. I agree with everything he's saying because it's not no money right now. It's about the long play.
Mhm.
That's why you got to build the brands. If you're getting in now and you only want to grow and sell and you only just trying to do a quick little flavor,
Yeah. Good luck with that.
good luck with that. You're not
Mhm.
going to be here long.
No.
It's
Yeah.
it's about the long play. You got to
Exactly.
think we just started legalization.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Y'all
Right.
expected to go from what it started in 2016, which is what 2024, 8 years is supposed to just be free for all.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long play involved. They
Mhm.
just started giving us some grace with weed
Mm-hmm.
in America. They just
Yeah.
I'm talking about the doors as small as the holes on this microphone cover.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's that small. We got I might not even be here by the time all the stuff is supposed to happen in the space.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So you got to be here for the long haul if you're really
Yeah.
trying to do it. And them the kind of people I want to work with.
You have
Absolutely.
to build a brand. You're right.
I said, well, I'm the same way, man, and we will be connected.
Oh yeah,
You know
we
what I'm
already,
saying?
yeah,
You
no,
already
that's-
know.
But that's how good stuff work.
Yeah.
Like I said, I told you offline, I've been a fan of yours, all the shit. To meet people like Problem, to meet people because of this plant.
Yeah.
Love telling my kids that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, they know. They've been
Mhm.
like, I meet 99% of the people I interact with.
How old are
through
your
weed.
kids?
Oldest will be 25 in May. We got 2 finna be 24 this year. 19-year-old this year, and our baby just turned 16 on the 18th.
You have
Okay.
twins?
No,
Oh.
no. One was born in
Irish twins.
July, one is November. One was hers, one mine.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay,
Yeah.
what's the age where you let your kids smoke?
Mm.
They all smoke. Only one don't is the baby. And I think they all started maybe 13, 14 for most of them.
daughter
Oh my
asked-
God.
I started at 13 too.
My
though.
daughter asked if she could smoke.
They didn't ask, but they kind of like we kind of knew that they were doing it kind of like amongst each other, but they kind of like, it's a trip seeing my sons with their own little kits. Cause they've seen me with my kids and shit. That should be like, oh man, she like, we got all our kids smoking weed, all our friends, like they all. It's just like how we grew up. Weed was not bad to me, so I'm not gonna make it bad to them. What I tell them is just buy from good sources. In most cases, I'm my kids or their friends weed, man, because I don't want you buying from
Bullshit,
weirdos.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So like our kids know what good weed is. They be clowning their friends weed. No, we don't want that. We know what the real shit is. Type shit. But no, we didn't really have no age limit. They just kind of started smoking, and we just kind of was like, all right, long as you ain't in here doing whatever, it's kind of just,
My
cool.
daughter, I was shook. I didn't even know what to say. Like,
What did she say?
She's like, "Can I smoke?" And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Weed." I was like, "Why?" She's like, "You and all your friends do it."
I
And I
want
was
to try.
just like,
You're like, oh shit.
and I'm like,
shit.
I don't know what to do because if she's asking and I say no, she's gonna do it.
She's going to do it anyway, just not in
Yeah.
front of you.
Yeah.
So do I assist her because
How old is she?
13?
Now, what I will say with ours, I didn't smoke with none of my kids until they were 18 plus.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
weird with
I'm
my
like,
son too.
I
I
didn't do
didn't
that
want
till
to
they was
smoke.
grown. I had to wait till they
Yeah,
was
it's-
18, and it was like most of the time when they was 18 and it happened, we was on a long ride together, and they know if I'm riding, I'll smoke. So I'm not gonna smoke, and you don't, and you smoke, and I'm not gonna pass it to you. So that's how
Yeah.
all of my kids, I smoked with them on a drive.
Yeah, my oldest, he didn't want to smoke it with me.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like he
Gotcha.
started doing it on his own, and I was like, I had to find out about it.
Same here.
Yeah,
same
and
here.
I think
They
my
just come
parent,
like, hey,
my parents' side kicked in more than the smoker side. I wasn't like, oh, well, what are you smoking? I was like,
Right.
Tremaine. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was like,
No, mine was just,
oh,
mine
Tremaine,
was just
what are you doing?
It's such
teaching them.
It's such a. I mean, but my daughter, at least she's like, I never want to drink because she sees how
We got
some
them
people
too.
get when they drink. So
Yep.
she's like,
Yeah.
I don't even want to go there. But
Yeah.
she sees how
Mhm.
everybody acts when they're high. She's like, y'all
Mhm.
just be chilling and eating, really.
Yeah, we got two that
Yeah.
don't want to touch
She's like, what
alcohol.
does it feel
Yeah.
like? Because y'all just be chilling.
Oh man, that's a tough one.
But it's
13's
crazy.
a little early.
Because they're already smoking at school.
But with
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
being what you are in the education space, this is the time to educate them.
Yeah, I'm educated. I mean, I don't feel like my daughter has the emotional maturity to consume cannabis because I don't
Mhm.
want it to be like something
Mhm.
that she jumps to when she's feeling uncomfortable. So I don't think she's ready
Correct.
at
I
her
agree.
where she's at in her life. So
agree.
I'm
And
not
we said
really
that too.
like, yeah, you can try, but she's a straight A student. She's a good kid. But once she
Mhm.
gets to a point where she is, emotionally regulated, it is a great thing to have because being a teenager in this time period, like
It's
you don't have
different.
an end of the world scenario in your mind, but all of them do.
Oh my goodness, it is
They
different.
do not see a future
It's
on this
different.
planet. They don't. They're just kind of like existing. They
it's
can't. They
different.
know they're not going to be able to move out. Can't afford nothing. Going to college does not make you money. It puts you in debt. They've learned from
Right.
the millennials.
Right.
Like what's out there for them? They're it's tough for them. So
Wow, I never thought
Bro,
about it like
it's-
that.
it's-
The way they
it's-
see the world.
yeah. So you're
Yeah,
like you don't
we
believe in the
don't.
end of the world. They
Mhm,
do.
mhm.
Yeah.
They're like, when's it gonna
and by
happen?
end of the world scenario, trust me, the Earth's going to be here long after we're gone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Trust me.
definitely.
Yeah, the Earth's going to be fine.
Yeah.
So when we say end of the world, it's just going to be the end of this shit that we
Yeah,
dealing
that
with.
we doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and speaking of end of shit, it's the Lasagna Ganja podcast with Mr. X to the Z Xzibit.
And I'm your girl Tammy, aka the Cannabis Cutie.
Yeah, man, Tucky, thank you for joining us,
Oh,
man.
thank y'all. This was amazing.
I hope that we could talk 6 to 8 months from now, and then you could tell us how things are going, and hopefully you have store number 2 going.
That's what I'm. Obviously, we're gonna be talking.
Yeah.
I can see it already. So say less.
It's the Lasagna Ganja podcast. I'll see you guys next time.
Check out the Lasagna Ganja podcast wherever podcasts are streamed.
And check out our separate feed with video episodes.
Available on Spotify and YouTube.
For more information, visit dcpofficial.com.